Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So on December 21st, the Great Conjunction of 2020 is taking place, and you want to know what it is, and more importantly, what does it mean for your specific sign and how you can use this information to improve your life. So in this video, I'm going to answer both of those questions. This way you can use this information as a tool to assist you in manifesting the things that you desire and deserve. Keep in mind, you can watch this from the perspective of your sun sign and your rising sign. I always say if you watch from both, you'll have an outlook for the spiritual path per your rising sign and your mental, more physical path, which will be from the perspective of your sun sign. So no more wasting time. Here are the goods on the Great Conjunction. Let's go. Okay, so the Great Conjunction, what is it? Well, for any of you new to astrology, a conjunction is whenever two planets are passing through the same sign. When two planets transit the same exact sign, that's called a conjunction. In this case, we have the conjunction of Jupiter and Saturn. And the reason this is so significant is because it takes place about every 20 years, and both of these planets have a major effect on your life, but in two very different ways. Jupiter is the planet of luck and good fortune. Saturn is the planet of responsibility, hard work, and discipline brought on by challenges and limitations. So when these two planets are conjunct, there's a major energetic situation going on here because both of these planets are very powerful, but in many ways are very different. Jupiter expands and Saturn constricts. So knowing how to harness the energy of this powerful conjunction can be very useful in your life. And with each of you, depending on what your sign is, it will have a stronger effect in different areas. But first, for the collective, for all of us as a whole, the reason this conjunction of 2020 is so huge is because now that it's occurring in an air sign, in the sign of Aquarius nonetheless, this means this will have a major effect by disrupting established orders and major changes in collective ideas and the ways that we communicate. So even through all the heaviness of 2020, you all have probably been feeling like we're on the edge of some major shift as a collective. And that is true. And that shift, because it's taking place in an air sign, is majorly based in our intellectual perspectives. It's all about how we look at things. So Saturn is asking us to focus on the thought patterns and ideas that we're realizing do not work for us as a collective. And Saturn is bringing us the opportunity to recognize those limitations now. And Jupiter is here to say, now that the space has been made by Saturn forcing a release on old ways of thinking, Jupiter is now saying, let's fill this space with new progressive thoughts and ideas and recognize the limitless potential that we have as a collective. We finally get to see the light at the end of this 2020 tunnel that has been filled with hardship and uncertainty. So we'll watch this begin to take shape as a collective, but in the meantime, I'm going to break down for each of your signs what area of your life this conjunction will have the strongest effect on. So you can look at that area of your life and ask yourself, what thought pattern, what way of looking at this area of my life needs to change, and what does it need to change to? What does it need to be replaced with so I can continue to thrive and grow? So let's jump into each sign and which area this conjunction will have the strongest effect on. Okay, so Aries. The Great Conjunction on December 21st for you will take place in your 11th house. Now remember, this conjunction, because it's in an air sign, is asking you what perspective do you have in your life that results in negative outcomes, and what do you need to do to let go of that perspective and then replace it with a perspective that does work for you. And because this transit is in your 11th house, it's going to be bringing awareness to how you look at the influence that your circle of friends and the close people in your life have on you. I'm sure you've heard the saying, you are the average of the 5 people that you spend the most time with. Well, first ask yourself, do you believe this to be true? If not, what influence do you think that your friends have on you? And if you do believe it, then ask yourself, are you happy with this influential group? Now, this doesn't mean it's time to make a whole new set of friends, but it is time for you to really bring awareness to who it is you have chosen to be in your life. Do they support you? Are they honest with you? Do they bring you positive energy? Are the relationships balanced with give and take, or are they judgmental, dishonest at times, draining, and prone to bring you down and bring out your more negative personality traits? This great conjunction can be the perfect energetic opening for you, Aries, to really remind yourself that your energy and your perspective are both very precious. And if you intend on being happy, motivated, and optimistic when it comes to how you view your present life situation, then you need to make sure that the people you choose to surround yourself with support your goals. If you don't bring awareness to this issue, limitations of Saturn will be heavy and extreme. But if you do, the power of Jupiter will assist you in expanding that energy and uplifting you and your circle of friends. So this conjunction for you, Aries, is all about making sure that you renew your perspective and awareness around who you spend your time with and what it means for your happiness. And this isn't just focused on friends. It could be family members, co-workers, romantic relationships, peer groups at school. It's just who you choose to surround yourself with. This conjunction is asking you to really pay attention to that. Know the effects that it has on you. Make the necessary changes and then move forward with the confidence that the changes that you make will be rewarded. Okay, Taurus, the great conjunction on December 21st for you will take place in your 10th house. Now remember, this conjunction, because it's in an air sign, is asking you what perspective do you have in your life that results in negative outcomes, and what do you need to do to let go of that perspective and then replace it with a perspective that does work for you. And because this transit is in your 10th house, Taurus, for you, this will be focused on your career and your overall dedication to responsibility and how you contribute to society. So it's all about asking yourself, what is my truth when it comes to what it is I want to do for a living? And how do I truly feel about this? Are you doing what it is that you really want to do? Or are you working towards that goal? Do you really feel good about where you're at in terms of being on a clear path with a clear goal in this area of your life? Do you feel like you don't have the luxury of going after your dreams? Are you feeling confused or stuck? Maybe you are in the profession that you love, but you're still feeling unfulfilled for some reason. Well, this great conjunction is the time where Saturn is asking you to be 100% honest with yourself about where you are right now in your life and what your perspective is on your goals in terms of what you want to do for a living. And if you're already doing it, what is your perspective on your state of fulfillment regarding this job? This self-evaluation will help you in deciding what it is you need to do and how you need to look at the situation so you can ignite that optimism inside of you, where Jupiter comes in to open doors of opportunity in your life and reward you for taking Saturn's energy and using it to face the truth regarding this area of your life. So the great conjunction for you, Taurus, is letting you know this is the time to make whatever choices and changes necessary when it comes to your career goals to really be in a place where you love what you do. Now, this doesn't always mean quitting immediately. This could also mean accepting that what it is you do is enough, and changing your perspective so you can be happy going to work each day and saying to yourself, my new dream is to do whatever I choose to do to earn money and make the most of it, no matter what it is. That perspective may work for you. Or it could be about saying, you know what, I'm not happy in this job, but I'm gonna set my goal for where I wanna be, and it'll make it much more easy to go to work on a daily basis and know that there's light at the end of the tunnel. Know that there's gonna be a change because you're working towards that change instead of just feeling stuck. It could be about saying how you know deep down inside what you've always wanted to do, and now you are finally ready to believe in yourself enough to go for it. Whatever your personal situation is, this great conjunction is the perfect opportunity for clarity, change, and excitement. So let's go, Taurus. You got this. Okay, Gemini, the great conjunction on December 21st for you will take place in your 9th house. Now remember, this conjunction, because it's in an air sign, is asking you what perspective do you have in your life that results in negative outcomes, and what do you need to do to let go of that perspective and then replace it with a perspective that does work for you. And because this transit is in your 9th house, this for you, Gemini, will be about being 100% honest with yourself when it comes to how you truly feel about yourself in the area of your self-confidence and your self-worth. What do you believe about your capabilities, and how has that played a role in what you've manifested in your life? This is a time, Gemini, where you can use the power of this great conjunction to make a major shift that can result in you having a newfound confidence and belief in yourself, only if you're 100% truthful with where you are in terms of how you view your capabilities. Are you realizing that just saying I'm gonna believe in myself more isn't always enough? Sometimes it's about taking the actions that will result in more confidence. For example, once you define what it is you really want to accomplish, the next step could be identifying for yourself what it is you need to learn. How can you gain more information and skills in this area? Because as a Gemini, the more information you have, the more confident you'll be in your ability to achieve the goals that you've set for yourself. So Geminis, this great conjunction of Saturn and Jupiter is a time for you to identify what you want, then identify what it is you need to learn in order to have the experience and confidence that will lead to you stepping into your power and really reaching the potential that you have always known you have. So Saturn will help you identify where you feel limited in terms of your self-confidence, so you can take the steps to acquire the knowledge and tools necessary for you to then use the power of Jupiter to make use of that confidence that you gain from taking whatever course necessary or reading whatever books necessary and jumping into taking the actions that give you the experience that begins to build your self-confidence. Then use that confidence as fuel to really make your dreams come true. This great conjunction can be the start of a big chapter for you, Gemini, in terms of how you see yourself and what you're capable of. Okay, Cancers, the great conjunction on December 21st for you will take place in your 8th house. Now remember, this conjunction, because it's in an air sign, is asking you what perspective do you have in your life that results in negative outcomes, and what do you need to do to let go of that perspective and then replace it with a perspective that does work for you. And because this transit is in your 8th house, for you Cancers, this will be focused on how you handle your personal power. Do you use it to stand up for yourself and to put the best version of yourself forward when on the path to achieving your goals? Or do you fear your own power and distract yourself from facing that fear by focusing your energy on romantic relationships or addictive behavior? The power of Saturn in this conjunction is asking you to identify where you limit yourself by not using your power to actualize your true potential. Then once you identify this truth, the power of Jupiter will assist you in taking this realization and using the information to truly make your dreams come true. Cancer, this is a time to stop doubting yourself. Stop being afraid that if you truly step into your confidence and power, that you may be seen a certain way, or that people may judge you, or that you may fail. Instead, know that you are here for a reason and you were given certain gifts for a reason. And if you make the choice to embrace your gifts with confidence and then unapologetically move forward, claiming your power and living the life that you were intended to live, then you will experience a new level of joy and peace that will result in you no longer needing to have addictive behavior or to be obsessive in your relationships or thoughts. Instead, your energy will be focused on building a reality that brings you fulfillment, that uses your gifts to have an effect on your life and the lives of others in a positive way. So this great conjunction for you Cancers is all about deciding if you are ready to truly embrace your power. No longer be a people pleaser or be worried about how you're being perceived by anyone else, and know that if your intentions are grounded in your truth and love, then you are on the path to fulfilling any and all of your dreams and achieving the peace that your heart, mind, and soul crave. This is a major opportunity for a major shift, Cancers, so take it. You'll be very happy you did. Okay, Leos, the great conjunction on December 21st for you will take place in your 7th house. Now remember, this conjunction, because it's in an air sign, is asking you what perspective do you have in your life that results in negative outcomes, and what do you need to do to let go of that perspective and then replace it with a perspective that does work for you. And because this transit is in your 7th house, the area of your life where you can identify this perspective is when it comes to the quality of your personal relationships. Not with groups of people, but with your one-on-one relationships. This is a time, Leos, where you can ask yourself, do I keep myself at a distance and not allow people to truly connect with the real me? Do I allow myself to be vulnerable enough to be loved? Do I try and control my relationships? Am I really capable of compromise and accepting someone as an equal? Answering these questions will help you get to the root of where this Saturn and Jupiter conjunction can really help you to make a major transformation in your life that can result in a completely new energy when it comes to you and your relationships. Saturn is helping, if you allow it, to identify where in your personal relationships you can make some changes. So that way, Jupiter can take the energy from these changes and really bring some new possibilities in terms of attracting new, more fulfilling energy in your relationships or deepening the relationships that you're already in. This is a time, Leos, for you to have a true inspirational moment when it comes to why your relationship world is the way that it is. And this doesn't mean that you're unhappy in your relationships right now or that they cause you major problems. This is a time where if you identify where you can do better in terms of how you see relationships, making a change in that perspective can enhance your relationship world and bring the happiness, positive interactions, and love that you deserve, and that will enrich your life even more. So, Leos, the great conjunction for you is a time for transformation and major growth in the area of personal relationships. And the focus is more on the romantic side of these personal relationships, not necessarily like friendships or family members. It's much more focused on romantic relationships. So when you're identifying this for yourself, make sure you give more energy to that area of your life. So if you take this opportunity, then 2021 will be a year of much deeper love and connection for you, Leos. Okay, Virgos, the great conjunction on December 21st for you will take place in your 6th house. Now remember, this conjunction, because it's in an air sign, is asking you what perspective do you have in your life that results in negative outcomes, and what do you need to do to let go of that perspective and then replace it with a perspective that does work for you. And because this transit is in your 6th house, the area of life where you can identify this perspective is in the world of your work and also your health and well-being. Saturn is urging you to be honest with yourself, Virgos, of how you limit yourselves in terms of how you manage your time. Do you use your time spinning your wheels and overcomplicating things, which leads you to being stressed out and then experiencing health issues because of the stress? If so, this great conjunction is the time for you to really evaluate and then make a change in what your daily routine is when it comes to your work and your health. In order to truly feel the excitement of accomplishment, Virgo, you have to allow yourself the time to get things done that you need to, but in the midst of getting them done, you have to be aware of what your consciousness is. What thoughts are you having while you're working? Are you coming down on yourself? Are you being overly critical with your work? Make sure that your self-talk is optimistic and encouraging. This will help you maintain a good energy and workflow so you can feel confident about what you produce and complete, so you can feel good when you release it out into the world. Once you identify where you limit yourself with regard to your work, the next step is seeing things differently and doing things differently so you no longer limit yourself. This is where Saturn can be so helpful, and then Jupiter in that same 6th house can come open new doors of opportunity that can lead to a new level of fulfillment for you, Virgos. So this great conjunction for you, Virgos, is all about saying goodbye to feeling overly stressed out or overly critical when it comes to the way you go about achieving your goals. This way, you can be so much more efficient and effective with how you use your time, which will not only result in being more fulfilled with your accomplishments, but will also result in better health for you, both mentally and physically. This is a great opportunity for transformation, Virgos. So take it, and it will lead to 2021 being one of your best years yet. Okay, Libras, the great conjunction on December 21st for you will take place in your 5th house. Now remember, this conjunction, because it's in an air sign, is asking you what perspective do you have in your life that results in negative outcomes, and what do you need to do to let go of that perspective and then replace it with a perspective that does work for you. And because this transit is in your 5th house, the area of life where you can identify this perspective is in the area of your creative talents and how you truly enjoy life. So Saturn is helping you to get clear on how a transformation can take place by asking yourself, am I truly using my talents in my life? Have you taken the time to really identify what your talents are, and are you truly using them not only to affect the lives of others, but to enrich your life and bring you joy? And just know everyone has a talent, and it doesn't have to be being a singer or performing. It can be something like a talent for design or a talent for organizing. Maybe you have the talent of making people feel heard or understood. Your talent can be in any area, but this great conjunction is giving you the opportunity to really take the time and ask yourself, how have you been limiting your joy by not realizing and embracing and using your talents? And when you are using your talent, you'll notice that you're feeling naturally excited. You're feeling naturally motivated and enriched by life. You owe it to yourself, Libra, to enjoy this one life that you get as you. You don't have to worry about what anyone else thinks of your choices. This is your life, and it's meant to be enjoyed by you. So honestly, ask yourself, do I use my talents to the best of my ability? And if you don't, what changes can be made in your daily schedule that will give you the opportunity to do what you really, truly enjoy? This way you're using Saturn to identify where you may be limiting yourself in this area, and then Jupiter's power can assist you in opening up new opportunities in your life that will allow you to use your talents to bring more and more enjoyment into your life. Not only will this help you from not engaging in your tendency to worry about the future, because you'll be immersed in the present moment whenever you're involved in an activity that utilizes your talents, but you will also feel more confident and more content and more at peace overall, because you'll be motivated by the excitement of doing what you know you're good at and that you enjoy. So this Saturn-Jupiter conjunction for you, Libra, is a time for transformation when it comes to reminding yourself of what your talents are, how you can engage in the activities that utilize these talents so you can watch the opportunities arise that will bring you more overall enjoyment and an overall feeling of purpose in your life that will reinvigorate your excitement for each day as it comes. This is a big opportunity for change, Libras, so don't miss out. Okay, Scorpios, the great conjunction on December 21st for you will take place in your 4th house. Now remember, this conjunction, because it's in an air sign, is asking you what perspective do you have in your life that results in negative outcomes, and what do you need to do to let go go of that perspective and then replace it with a perspective that does work for you. And because this transit for you is in your 4th house, this will involve a transformation brought on by inner reworking, by getting to your roots, the root of who you are and what you believe about life in general. When's the last time you checked in with yourself about that? Where is your perspective when it comes to how stable you feel as an individual, Scorpio? Stability is such an important foundation to have as you take on the day-to-day challenges that life has to offer. The stronger you feel in your foundation and your roots, the stronger and more confident you can be as an individual when you live your life. Saturn is urging you and assisting you in identifying where you feel limited in terms of your foundation. If it is difficult to pinpoint, sometimes it's all about just making the adjustments in your life that will help you feel more grounded. Even if this means just being very clear on what type of home foundation you require in order to feel safe and secure. Then making the adjustments to your home situation that will give you the environment and surrounding energy that you know you require in order to recharge and feel ready to step into the world and be at your best. So for you Scorpios, this great conjunction taking place in your 4th house is a time for you to really pay attention to how your connection to your roots have affected your perspective and what changes need to be made not only in your physical surroundings in terms of your home base, but also your spiritual inner foundation. Reestablishing your relationship to the core of who you are and knowing that all of your strength comes from within, and the more solidified you are in this relationship with yourself, the more powerful, the more confident, and the more fulfilled you'll be in your life moving forward. And the more effective you'll be at manifesting all the things that you desire for yourself moving forward. So don't miss this incredible opportunity for transformation, Scorpios. This is a time where you can really rebuild your foundation so you stand strong and centered in who you are in this world and what you're capable of. Okay, Sagittarius, the great conjunction on December 21st for you will take place in your 3rd house. Now remember, this conjunction, because it's in an air sign, is asking you what perspective do you have in your life that results in negative outcomes? And what do you need to do to let go of that perspective and then replace it with a perspective that does work for you? And because this transit is in your 3rd house, the focus for you Sagittarius during this great conjunction is the power of your mental and verbal connection and communication. How do you communicate your thoughts, and do you always have awareness around the power of what you say? You are such a powerful sign, Sagittarius, and we've all heard the saying, thoughts become things. And this is only amplified by the power of your words. We can speak things into existence, so it's so important during this time to recognize that Saturn is urging you to really ask yourself, am I aware of what I say and the effect that it has in my life? Then with that answered, decide right then and there that from that point on, you will really begin to think before you speak, especially when it comes to discussing your dreams and aspirations. Be so careful as to what you say and who you share that information with. You want to protect the energy of the things that matter most to you, and your personal dreams are such a personal thing that you want to make sure and only share your dreams with the people that you know love you and want the best for you. Also, if you know you're having defeating thoughts, which all of us do, you can make the choice not to further energize those thoughts by speaking those words. Instead, speak the exact opposite of any negative thoughts so you can counterbalance any negative energy those thoughts might bring about. So for you, Sagittarius, this can be an amazing time of transformation for you. You are already a naturally lucky person because not only is Sagittarius ruled by Jupiter, the planet of good luck, but you have a naturally optimistic energy within you. So when you feel yourself not acting from that place of optimism, when you feel yourself acting from a negative place, then make sure to not amplify that power by having conversations based in negativity or engaging in conversations with negative people. This is the time where you can use the energy of Saturn to identify where any negative thought patterns or negative speak has a tendency to bring you down and make the choice to no longer engage in either of those two things. Then the power of Jupiter, while it's in your 3rd house, can really begin to amp up your manifesting power by making sure you only speak about the things that you want to happen and think the thoughts that support your goals. This can be the start of a really huge year for you, Sagittarius, if you make the choice to reconnect to your power to create the reality that you desire and definitely deserve by making sure that your thoughts, your words, and your actions support your goals. Okay, Capricorns, the great conjunction on December 21st for you will take place in your 2nd house. Now remember, this conjunction, because it's in an air sign, is asking you what perspective do you have in your life that results in negative outcomes outcomes, and what do you need to do to let go of that perspective and then replace it with a perspective that does work for you. And because this transit is in your second house, the area of your life where this focus should be, which is so hilarious because it's a cliche for Capricorns, but the area of your life is personal finances and possessions. So this is intense because where Saturn would be limiting financial gain, Jupiter wants to bring money your way. So this is urging you Capricorns to really look at your relationship with money and ask yourself, do you have a good relationship with that energy? One way to know if you have a good relationship with the flow of money is if a flow of money is coming your way on a consistent basis. Because more than likely, if a good flow of money is coming your way, then the relationship you have with money is pretty great. But the next step is then asking yourself, when there are shifts in the amount of money that you have coming your way, does your self-worth shift with it? Meaning, do you connect your self-worth and feelings of accomplishment with how much money you have? This isn't to judge yourself, but it's to make sure that you take the opportunity of this Saturn-Jupiter conjunction to improve your relationship with money and your ability to make money. You will limit yourself if your self-worth is tied up in your money. So make sure you take the necessary steps to say, yes, I feel great when I'm doing well financially, but I also feel great when I'm not doing well financially, because I know that life is all about ebb and flow. And it's much more important to be enjoying the process of working and achieving my goals because I'm making an impact on the world around me by using my gifts. And when the money is flowing, fantastic. And when it isn't, you will still have the certainty that it will come back around, and you can't let it throw you off your game or allow it to affect your emotional well-being. So overall, Capricorns, this great conjunction is a time for you to reestablish your relationship with money by reestablishing your worth and your certainty in your financial security, and also making sure that you never approach money from a perspective of lack. Never think of how much money you don't have or how you're afraid that if you don't have enough, what would happen. Only focus on how excited you are about how much you're capable of attracting and sharing and continuing that flow. And despite the ups and downs, you won't allow your perspective of who you are as a person to be thrown off. You will continue to enjoy life, believe in yourself, and be excited for what's to come. Okay, Aquarius, the great conjunction on December 21st for you will take place in your first house. Now remember, this conjunction, because it's in an air sign, is asking you what perspective do you have in your life that results in negative outcomes, and what do you need to do to let go of that perspective and then replace it with a perspective that does work for you. And because this transit is in your first house, this is huge for you, Aquarius. This is a major turning point in your life. And because it's in your first house, it is all about how well you know yourself, who you really truly are, and what it is you truly want. Here's the thing. Saturn and Jupiter work very differently because we know Saturn is about limitations and Jupiter is about expansion and good fortune. So with this great conjunction, it's all about honestly identifying your limitations so you can make the changes that will open the floodgates of good fortune for you. So for you, Aquarius, because this conjunction takes place in your first house, it is so important to ask yourself, who am I? The thing is, there are three main perspectives at play here. There's how you see yourself, how you want people to see you, and the truth of who you actually are. Now, how different those three perspectives are, that's where the work is, Aquarius. The more in alignment these three things are, the more powerful you will be moving forward in and after this great conjunction. Now, of course, you can't be bothered with the opinions of people who don't know you, but the people that do know you, the people that you're closest to in your life, does their perspective of you line up with how you honestly see yourself? And does how you honestly see yourself line up with how you really want to be seen? Now is the time to make whatever adjustments necessary to step into who you truly want to be and to truly be that person, because then anyone close to you will have no choice but to see you that way, because that is who you truly will be. So Aquarius, this great conjunction is your opportunity to take the steps to be the person you have always dreamed of. Not just in how people see you, but in how and who you truly are. But it all starts with being 100% honest with yourself. What are the aspects about yourself in your life that you want to change? Now's the time to change them. What are the aspects of yourself that you want to amplify? Now's the time to amplify them, Aquarius. This is going to be a great phase of your life if you just embrace the supportive energy that wants you to put in the work mentally, physically, and spiritually to actualize to the person you know you are meant to be. Things will no longer be a fantasy in your mind, but a reality in your life, and it all starts with you. Okay, Pisces, the great conjunction on December 21st for you will take place in your 12th house. Now remember, This conjunction, because it's in an air sign, is asking you what perspective do you have in your life that results in negative outcomes? And what do you need to do to let go of that perspective and then replace it with a perspective that does work for you? And because this transit is in your 12th house, I would argue that the Great Conjunction has the potential to make the strongest effect on you, Pisces, because it being in your 12th house is really about major endings, meaning that Saturn is supporting you in really facing your demons. There are times throughout the year where certain transits are taking place and I'll say, okay, Pisces, time to identify what no longer serves you, and you can make the necessary adjustments for change, but this is bigger, Pisces. This is truly a time where you can make the major changes that you've been trying to make for a very long time. This is all about you being honest with yourself about the things that you've been attached to that you know are no good for you and ending the attachment. This is also about you identifying what you've been fearful of that has held you back and stepping through that fear once and for all. This is such a major opportunity for you, Pisces, out there. You have always known and felt that you're capable of more, that you have untapped potential, but certain things have held you back, be it bad relationships, addictive behaviors, irrational fears. Well, this Saturn and Jupiter conjunction is the opportunity, Pisces, to make a major shift. Saturn is pointing out the limitations and Jupiter is ready to give you that major boost once you accept those limitations and release them and work through them. Time to do some serious cleaning house. Let go of the pain of the past experiences. Let go of the fear of the future and ground yourself in the present moment and know that you can make the choice that during this great conjunction, you will truly start to live your life from a place of power. That power will come from you no longer leaning on any excuses that hold you back. Even if those excuses are legitimate, you can't underestimate your power, Pisces, and give into that defeating narrative. It's time for you to love yourself enough to say, I no longer will allow any experiences from my past to hold me back. It's never too late. As long as you're alive and breathing, you have the power of choice. So choose love, not fear. If anyone can do it, you can, Pisces. So take a deep breath and make a deal with yourself that you are going to challenge yourself to step into your power and to start to live your potential. This great conjunction can be the best thing that ever happened to you if you let it. Either way, it will definitely point out where your limitations are. The question is, what will you do with that information? You got this, Pisces. This will be the perfect start to the transition from 2020 into 2021, so you can make it your best year yet. Okay, so there you have it. The Great Conjunction, what it means for all of us as a collective, and how you can use its powerful energy as an individual to assist you in manifesting the life that you desire and absolutely deserve. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. I'm sending you all tons of love. Thank you so much for taking the time to come and hang out with me, and I will see you in the next video.